Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the first edition of That's My Jesus. And today I want to talk to you about That's My Jesus versus angry Christians. I'm going to tell you the truth. For a long time, I've seen a lot of stories. Yes, I have seen stories because I can read them, but I've heard a lot of stories, and I've even seen myself some occasions where you run into this kind of like really angry version of Christianity. Now, many of us have either seen video images or actually literally seen people on the streets, like outside of city centers and stuff like that, with picket signs that say stuff like "gays are going to hell," and they'll literally march around with these signs, and if you were to try to get close to them and experience love, you're probably not gonna feel that in that environment. In fact, probably what you're feeling in that situation, and certainly what you're perceiving in that situation, is a lot of anger and like hostility and judgment. And I think honestly, now speaking to fellow Christians, can we agree that the perception in the world is that Christians are kind of judgmental and angry? And we have to ask ourselves, is it really just because the world is so misled? And yes, certainly there is a deceiver, but are we responsible for that at all? I think we are. And I'm going to be honest with you. The truth is, sometimes when we talk about That's My Jesus, we also have to talk about what is not our Jesus. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here for anybody that's not a Christian or is new to Christianity or is just kind of like thinking about it. For those of us that have come to believe, see, the first step is that we have to find out like whether or not we believe that Jesus really lived, that he really was the Son of God, that he really did live a blameless life, and he's the only one that's ever done it, that he really was hung on a cross, and that he really did rise from the dead. We have to decide if we believe that. So step one for us is, do we believe? Step two for us is falling in love with this person named Jesus. So we first decide if we believe, then we begin to fall in love. We begin to read about him. We found more and more and more stories about what his heart was and what his actions were and what his words are. And as we do that, without any, stop, without any hesitation, there's usually just this love relationship that begins to occur between you and Jesus, the real Jesus, the one that's in this Bible. And so for those of us that believe, that's the process. We believe, then we fall in love. And then like the action part of it is that we begin to model our lives after Jesus. What we do is we surrender our will to him and we say, Jesus, I want my life to look as closely to yours as it possibly can. And he made a way for that to be possible, so that as we surrender and we just say, Lord, I don't want to go around hurting people and saying things that are discouraging and mean or judgmental. Instead, Lord, I want people to see from me what they would see from you. And so step three for that in that journey for us Christians is that we begin to emulate Jesus Christ. We begin to model our life after him, and we want to be as Christ-like as we possibly can. So in order to be like Christ, we have to really be like Christ, and we have to respond to things the way Christ did. In John chapter 8, there is a story here that really kind of gives us the heart of Jesus and how he responded to sin and how he would respond to things that are not pure. And so in John chapter 8, starting in verse 1, it says, "But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. Early in the morning, he came to a temple, and all the people were coming to him, and he sat down and he began to teach them. The scribes and Pharisees," now for those of you that aren't Christians, these are the religious higher order of the Jewish faith at the time in Israel. They brought a woman in. She was caught in adultery. She was caught cheating on her husband. And having set her in the center of the court, they began and said to him, "Teacher, this woman has been caught in adultery, in the very act. Now, in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such a woman. What do you say?" Now, they were saying this, testing him. so that they might have grounds for accusing him. So they're trying to catch him in a catch-22. They want him to kind of defy this this grace that he's been speaking about and all of this love and mercy. He keeps going around with this message, of course, with the primary message of repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near. But they're trying to catch him in a little like catch-22. And Jesus stooped down with his finger, wrote on the ground. But when they persisted in asking him, he straightened up and said to them, "He who is without sin among you, let him be the first to throw a stone at her." This response from Jesus is the response of a true Christian. True Christianity recognizes that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. True Christianity recognizes that there is none righteous, no, not one, aside from Jesus Christ. So we recognize as Christians that we don't have the right to go around and sling mud at people. That's not how this thing works. Now, did Jesus accept and affirm the sin? Surely he did not. And let me show you how he responds to that. Again, he stooped down and he wrote on the ground. And when they heard it, they began to go out one by one, beginning with the older ones. And he was left alone, and the woman, where she was in the center of the court, straightened up. And Jesus said to her, he said, "Woman, where are they? Did no one condemn you?" And she said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said this, "I do not condemn you either. Go from now on, sin no more." Jesus didn't come to say to her, "Hey, I don't condemn you. Go back and finish what you started with that other guy." No, he didn't come to affirm the sin. He didn't come to say, "Yeah, keep sinning." What he came to say is, "Hey, I love you. I don't condemn you. I get it. But pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and sin no more. Don't keep doing this. You're ruining yourself. You're killing yourself. You're doing harm to yourself, and you're doing harm to others that you don't even realize you're doing." And that's what sin does. It has this corrosive nature. The enemy wants to tempt us into it so that he can destroy us and destroy everyone around us. And if you just think about the ripple effect of some of the worst things that you've done, you can recognize that sin doesn't just affect you, it affects the people around you. And so Jesus doesn't come to condemn people, he came for the sinners, and he came to give them a giant hug and say, "I love you, I don't condemn you, don't sin anymore." That's the true message of Christ. And so please forgive the people that you've seen with those picket signs. Please forgive the people that you've talked to that have said really judgmental, hurtful things to you, and that have come in with a Clint Eastwood squint and given you a firm talking to about how you're going to hell and things like that. Now listen, the truth is, guys, that if we don't believe in our hearts and confess with our mouths that Christ is Lord, then we are going to hell. But it's not this judgmental, like angry punishment thing. It's literally a choice of our own will. You chose to turn your back on Christ, on the one that could save you. And that's a whole different thing. The real message of Christ is, hey, he loves you. He doesn't condemn you. He wants you just as bad as anybody else. Every single one he wants, every lost sheep he wants back in the fold. And he loves you, he wants you, and he wants you to have a life, not just any old life, but an abundant life, one that's filled with spiritual abundance. So those picket sign people, it's not my Jesus. It's Jesus with the adulterer.